So if you are concerned about spoilers, you should probably turn back now because Irrational is taking us deep, deep back into Rapture. I think after years and years of just us wanting this, Irrational finally sort of put their hands up and said, you know what, we will take you back.
An interesting way to do it, though, is DLC for a game that wasn't set in Rapture.
Yep, it's weird, you know, going from the skies of Columbia to the depths of underwater hell. I think I've been wanting this for so many years. I wasn't a great fan of BioShock 2, which 2K Marin did, I believe. So I've been waiting for Irrational to take us back here, and I mean, I've recently reviewed this, and it's just fantastic. It really is. You know, they've basically had to recreate the entirety of Rapture with new assets, so it's basically the Rapture that you loved running on the BioShock Infinite engine. They put the whole Irrational team to this, so it's not just some sort of half-assed DLC pack that they've put out. The entire team is working on this with their full resources, and it really shows. You know, It looks beautiful.
They've gone for this sort of film noir, gumshoe kind of narrative, at least to kick things off. Does that kind of play out from what you've seen?
That's one of the disappointing things about it is obviously you've got Elizabeth here rocking a femme fatale look, and Booker is sort of this grizzled private investigator. And while they're on a mission, they're investigating the disappearance of a girl through the depths of Rapture. You never really get that sort of film noir look carry through. It sort of just flitters away a bit after the initial section. I mean, which is a shame, and this is part 1 of a part 2 DLC pack, so hopefully that will creep in a bit more. But to be honest, it was worth it just for these opening moments, just to see the roles of Booker and Elizabeth subverted a bit, which I thought was very, very nice.
I guess that the world design of Rapture in the first place had that kind of Art Deco look already, so it kind of ties in nicely with the theming. Regardless, it is wonderful to be able to see Rapture in its full glory, though.
Yeah. So obviously this is set the day before the infamous New Year's Eve party where everything goes to hell. I think it's fair to say, and it's great. You know, this is exactly what we wanted. You know, just to see the grandeur of this city. You know, this is a place that you'd give up the surface for, and I think that's so cool. You know, it just looks great. It's funny because even now there's still like this shady element to it. You know, Fontaine and Andrew Ryan are sort of at each other's necks, and you can tell that there's this bit of an uprising going about. And I mean, here you can see the little sisters, or sort of pre-little sister before they've gone like Adam crazy. You know, and there's no big daddies walking around, so it's a very different feeling to Rapture than we've previously had before, which I thought was wicked.
So just in terms of how it sort of holds together the gameplay transferring over, there were some differences between Infinite and the original BioShock. So how's that transferred? Yeah,
that was one of the strange things. It's weird because first BioShock was so claustrophobic, which is pretty much the exact opposite of Infinite, which had these huge wide open spaces. So they've had to open up Rapture, and it works. You know, some of the spaces, especially when you start fighting, this DLC is split pretty much 50-50 between pure exploration and pure combat. Some of the combat falls a little flat, but for the most part it's fun. You know, resource management's also pretty much out, even though everything is scarce. Elizabeth can still open tears, and she still does find resources and throw them to you when you're about to die or run out of ammo. So that takes away a little bit of the fun, but you know, it's very cool. I mean, the only thing I had an issue with is them shoehorning in skylines. It made zero sense, really, considering they weren't in either of the 2 games before. They did explain her tears a little bit quite nicely. Like, I won't obviously spoil it here, but that was quite a nice touch. But apart from that, they maybe would have been better served actually going fully back pre-Rapture and just sort of explaining them coming through in like an interdimensional tear or something instead of whatever they're trying to do, which they haven't revealed just yet.
So we're expecting the next part to be out before the end of the year?
I don't know. It's taken them a while to get them done. I think by the sounds of it, it's going to be next year, but it does sound very cool. It's going to basically put you in the shoes of Elizabeth, having you basically play throughout the underworld of Rapture. It's going to bring the horror and sort of super scary elements back into the game. And to be honest, as fun as this was, and it was a lot of fun, that's the thing I can't wait for. To be able to not play as the huge sort of American hero for once in one of these games, I think is really going to change your perspective on the world.